Hello, everybody. Welcome indeed. Hope you're well today. We're already late, so right into it. So last time when we when yeah. So last time when I could still speak, we uh we were exploring the mines looking for inspiration to do a mural in the I was gonna say city hall, but the rat house, I believe is what it's called, right? A week's a long time, man. My memory ain't that good anymore. Excuse me. Also, I forgot my water. We'll see how long I last before my throat implodes. Right. So, Tasing's early history. That's what we're doing because that's the first part of the mural. In order to okay, so it's just a prank. I don't think I'm gonna rat them out or anything. Could be a fun watch to see how that plays out. But oh, hello. Oh. Um. You. Yes. I'm Hallerbrand, the Lord's gamekeeper. Why are you grazing pigs in the woods? I'm the printer's doc. Was that you watching me a few minutes ago? The rock almost hit me. Watching you? No, rock? I don't know what you're talking about. Now answer me. I'm the printer's daughter, Magdalene Druckren. I didn't ask for your name. I asked why you were grazing pigs here. Answer me. That's not my pig. I've been walking around this forest for hours. Other than the charcoal burner and the tinker, you're the only person I've seen. If the pig doesn't belong to you, what are you doing here? I was in the salt mines? Doing what? Wait, I don't care. Just tell me whose pig this is. I don't know. The pig was in the woods when I came in here. Ah, a mysterious lost pig who apparently belongs to no one. I suppose so. Fucking hell, that's a bit extreme, innit? If I find any more pigs in these woods, I'll kill them on the spot. And those who brought them here. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Remind your neighbors what happens when you break the Lord's law. I knew the Lord's men patrolled these woods, but I've never seen one before. I didn't realize they were so strict. I suppose I should consider myself lucky. Anyway, time to get out of these woods and back to work at the rat house. Yes, we might swing by the farms to see. What's up, Apollo? Let's swing by the farms and sort of tell them, like, yo, watch your pigs. Also, we might swing by Dad, actually. Oh, he's sleeping. Oh, Magdalene. Hey, Dad, how are you feeling? Can I get you anything? No, I'm fine. You go on. Alright, I'll come back and check on you later. Okay, good. Better check than be sorry, you know. I still think we're gonna have to solve this little riddle, this, who conked our dad over the head. And so far, the only criteria I have is they write really well in very pretty font, in very pretty ink. Let's see, Martin. Nope, can't tell him anything. Probably he's big, isn't it? got odds. Hans. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. I hope your dad recovers quickly. He's a good man. Thank you, I'll tell him you said that. Good. Gestan has seen too many terrible things. But we've recovered before. Maybe the Lord will return your dad to health too. I pray you're right. Be glad you have this time with him. I say, oh, be glad you have this time with him. I say, wish I'd had as much with Helwig. Anyway, did you need something? Kraft hasn't bothered you again, has he? Or gotten into some other trouble? No, he's been fine, mostly. Good, that boy's a thorn in my boot. He's lazy, arrogant, doesn't care for his family. He'll bring shame to the Bauer name one day. You bring dishonor. I avoid sticking my nose into people's affairs, but Martin... Anyway, didn't mean to complain. Until later, Magdalene. Until then. Hey, Magdalene. I heard what happened to your dad. How's he doing? Resting? He suffered a severe blow to the head. I'm worried, to say the least. Hans sends his regards. The Bauer household is praying for a swift recovery. Thank you, and thank Hans and Huta? Her, as well. Or him, I don't know. Them. I will. Klaus has always been such a bedrock for Tassing. I'd hate for him to die, it'd be, sorry. It's fine, I feel it as well. It's best not to ignore one's fears. Do you miss your father? Your real one, I mean. Do I miss him? Kind of. I don't remember Joseph all that much. I don't think we talked to him at all when we were Andreas. He's become a haze of sorts, a faint echo, a feeling, an occasional emotion. Fucking hell, he's poetic, isn't he? I was so young when he got killed. Mom said I had trouble understanding what had happened for a long time. I understand. My mom, she's like an empty hole in my life. I have nothing of her. Ah, yeah, you never even got to see her, right? Not even a memory, huh? Suppose you have yourself for comparison. God molded you after her. I can imagine how she could have been like, stubborn and unruly, yeah? Well, speak for yourself. But can I know if I'm actually my mom while I have stories from people? Well, you read books, don't you? Stories are about things that are true. Not always. Really? What's the point of books then? Oh well, I can't read anyway. But you want to learn? Don't have the time. Work on the farm never ends, especially with the taxes eating at us. Anyway, the winter draws closer, so I got a lot of preparations to take care of. I truly hope Klaus recovers soon. God look after you both. Until later, Simon. I'm gonna guess that's... Huta. Hello, Magdalene. How's the mural coming? I hear you browbeat the council into letting you do it yourself. I don't care about the council. I only want to finish the mural for my dad. You're a dutiful girl, Magdalene. No one can fault you for that. But you, painting the rat house? I can't imagine that would have happened when I was a girl. Only those old Benedictine sisters ever did much art. Do you think they were happy without anyone around to need things from them? What a life. Except for the prayers, of course. Listening to Father Thomas on Sundays is enough for me. Anyway, it's good to see you standing up to the council. That Zimmerman boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders, though. Once you're settled down with him, you'll have a good life ahead of you. It's hard to think of the future right now with what's happened to my dad. Oh, sweet girl, I'm sorry. My mouth goes faster than my head sometimes. Or so my Johan used to say. Your dad's only ever been a fair weather friend to people like me, but he's a family man at heart, and I can respect that. I hope he knows how lucky he is to have you looking after him. He regrets it, you know, what happened the night the Abbey burned. I'm sure he does. He could have made a real difference for us. Stuck his neck out, but he was scared. We always things could have turned out different, but that's life. Anyway, give my best wishes to your father and take care of yourself. Thanks, Hedy. Until later. Until then. Oh, they also have pigs. And I can't talk to them, so yeah, let's just... Whoops. Let's just go to the rat house. Carl! Good day. The rat house is the biggest building in Tassing. Walter's clock took ages to build in place. Hey Mags, how's the mural coming along? Magdalene. Can't you let it go? Max is so much easier. No, Otto Zimmerman, I can't. Ugh, don't call me. Fine, you see? You see? Anyway, Magdalene, how's the mural going? It doesn't look like much yet. Well, of course it doesn't look like anything now. I only just finished priming the wall, now I have to decide what to depict. It's hard to piece together the history of Tassing when it happened so long ago. Since the Abbey Library burned, I can only rely on stories from people around Tassing. Even what I could find about the Romans and pagans was obscure. I had to go into the old salt mine to find anything. At least now I know what to paint for the first part of the mural. So, what is it? Oh boy. I feel like this is in poor taste. I'll use the pottery and tools the farmers have found to show how we lived before the Romans. I'm sure Father Thomas will approve, but I don't know. It just sounds kind of boring. What made you choose this story anyway? Can I like reconsider? It has the strongest connection to our farmers, things that they found, it's the most real. That makes a lot of sense. Other stories might feel like they don't really have anything to do with us. Thanks for explaining it. Of course, I want you all to understand why I'm making these choices. Well, now that I've figured this portion of the mural out, I'd better start thinking about the next section. I'll leave you to it, Max. Magdalene. Good night, Odds. Good night, Magdalene. Now that I've decided how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Curacau's history. Mother Illuminata Mother Illuminata's letter mentioned that a Matthew Fossigny probably butchered that, used to be a brother in Curacao. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. I should write them both now before bed. Oh, before I write, I should read that old book Brigitta gave me. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. Let's see... What is that book? Hello, Magdalene. Where's the book? Do I just like write and that will prompt me to read the book instead? Alright, where to begin? Right, the old book. It was the Barons before Martin stole it. I can't make much of it. The Latin is much harder than I'm used to. The book isn't in great shape either since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see... Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Erigo simulacrum inagret Mars nostrum operem conspiciat. I don't know how to read Latin. This one seems like a dedication to Mars to bless a field. Sedit Diana Loco Scaturiginusus ipsa. Yes, that. Diana, the virgin Roman goddess of the hunt and the wilderness. Diana is also associated with fertility, the moon, and the underworld. That's... This one talks about Diana wetting herself? Bathing in a spring, maybe. Oramus ut defendat oppidum. Oh, this one isn't as hard. Let us pray so that he or she really may defend the town. None of this really makes sense to me. Maybe something with better Latin than me could... Or maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though, it will be a lot of work. I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltus for help. Werner, too. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Which one's Werner again? I think the doctor's gonna be an asshole. Maybe even Father Thomas, even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim that they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Illuminata told me that Matthew knew some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion? I should write to him before the snow comes. I'll write Esther too. Most revered Matthew Fosigniso whatever, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalene Ruckren. I am the daughter of Tassing's town printer Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's rat house. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Cursaw's early history. I understand you are a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. Thank you for your help and consideration. Thank you for your help, Magdalene. Esther. Please forgive me for not writing sooner. I don't even know where to begin. The whole world seems to be crumbling around me. Even as my last letter was en route to you, my dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memories fail him. Dr. Stoltz said that he's not going to recover. There is only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard to argue with Dad's condition. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father or why. I found a note by him too. All it said was, "Stop." It wasn't from the shop because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full, running the workshop alone while tending to my dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be on the scaffold. You know how it is. Can't wait to leave this place. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has been a welcome distraction from the naysayers and my chores, and worrying about Dad. Otts has been coming over under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. You know what? He's trying. Let's give him benefit of of the doubt. It's sweet, and I'm glad for the company. He makes the days easier. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. We just go pester people now. Yo, can you read this for me? I think oh, it's in North Town, isn't it? Baltus's house. Hey, you seen Baltus? Never mind, then let's just go to sleep. That's a pretty sky, actually. I like that. Look at that. That's pretty cool, actually. I love the art in this game. Very well styled. And it's giving me a lot more than I bargained for, honestly. I thought, like, when I first saw the preface of the chapter 1, I thought it was gonna be, the story is just gonna be that, and then like the longevity, that word, how long you play it, is gonna be based on, trying out different investigations, different suspects, etc., getting different outcomes. But no, I'm pleasantly surprised that there's a lot more to it. Let's say goodnight to Dad and then we'll go to sleep. I think we're like 12 hours in or something already. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Yes, let's go to sleep. I'm kinda annoyed that they do a lot of these time skips, really. Mr. Strukrin, a few more letters for you. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. And your creepy horse. The first letter is from Reverend Matthew. Look at him. Mr. Strukrin, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kiersau. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalog the origins of the abbey they destroyed. Even so, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and the Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kiersau Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a noblewoman of the Kiersau family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kiersau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the truth. Sic arsit historia that thus burned the history of Kiersau. Even so, I have heard that sisters of the poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of Saint Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kirsau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. I hope this has been of some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew... Oh, so see that thing... Archdeacon of Sion. Ah, another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene. I'm terribly sorry you don't look like you're terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents sent their deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see what we can do. What Hashem allows. Hashem, literally the name in Hebrew, this is a way to refer to God indirectly in informal conversation or writing. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet, the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your rights to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age when all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I'm glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Alicia has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Sigmund! His family didn't move far away after all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often now. So I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well, Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Yes, that would be a good idea. Werner was supposed to come check on Dad today. I wonder where he is. When Till Eulenspiegel pretended to be a doctor, at least he showed up and his patients felt better. What's Werner's excuse? Maybe I should try to find him later. Ah, good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger. All things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be alright. Your letter from the Archdeacon. Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He seemed sad over what happened during the revolt, hesitant to tell me anything. He did say that the abbey was founded by a noble woman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery, so much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Claris might have held onto some of the records from the convent. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. I pressed E too quickly. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. I think I saw Gertrude. Whoever that is, I don't know, maybe I'm seeing things. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that others have forgotten. Elsa? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Kafiezels used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go far into them, Dad, just to take a look. Alright, wear a scarf too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, alright? Alright, good luck. Okay, so Reverend Matthew, so we should ask his sister, Father Thomas. I don't really want to do saints. I mean, it's a cool mural, but I feel like the mural should be about the people, you know? The people, the citizens, the ordinary folk. And how the village itself came to be. But still, no harm in asking. Hello, Father Thomas. God bless you, Magdalene. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course, what can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing's saints. I'd like to represent them in the rat house. I'm thrilled to hear it. The saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. You misunderstand, Father. I may incorporate them, but there are other possibilities. Ah, then I will endeavor to convince you to include them. But you know there is one saint you're overlooking. Hmm? Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course, Mary. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint, and she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing? Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. The peasant traveled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. That seems like a reasonable response, all things considered. Perhaps, but blessed are those who believe but have not seen. But sadly, the bishop did not believe. The peasants returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawings to the Bishop of Freising. That's not... The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could not. But he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasants who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant story and he came here to Tassing. The bishop came here? He did? It's the only time the bishop has ever come to Tassing. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. I had no idea that's where all this came from. It's not a story I tell much anymore. I suppose the people here think of Moritz and Satya, their connection to this place. Mary is such a core part of their prayers that they forget about our particular Mary. But in any case, Our Lady's demands were clear. So the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. You're not from Tassing, how did you hear the story? True, I am not. The people told me when I came. And the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priest and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. Have I convinced you to include the saints prominently in the mural? I'm still considering it. Well, if deliberation fails you, perhaps you will find that prayer gives you greater clarity. God bless you and your work, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. I suppose this is the labyrinth. Right, let's try the abbey. Carl. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Druckrin. Hello, Martha, Carl. How are you today? Is that a spoon in his hat? On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories. You listen to your daughter, Carl. You young girls think you're my keeper, is that it? I've always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments from me there. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reasons to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me. I like going a bit higher up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Anton. My poor boy. It's alright, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. This seems like a shit thing to say, you know? Like, no, yeah, no shit. He still misses his son. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just the babe, then. I can't... It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. You shouldn't have been with me that night. You shouldn't have. I was a fool. The abbey was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Landsknecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. Sorry. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain it, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I'm there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. May the Lord bless and keep her, as he keeps your mother, Magdalene. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. Feel kinda bad. You know, making them remember all that. Although to be fair, I try to keep quiet when it's appropriate, you know, they kinda just prattled on anyway. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Kiersau before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. Check out the shrine too. God damn it. The Hand of St. Moritz. The poor Clares takes care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the History Tassier, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the rat house mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls. Throw it away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Curacao, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of Tashing Saints to the rat house mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Druckrin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considers joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else may discover while contemplating the holy life, I've always been drawn to your fails, is that there is something about the fashion. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to see Mother Francisca now? No, I have other things to do first. Very well. Come find me if you change your mind. Right, let's keep that in the old back pocket, and let's first explore our other options. Can I like sneak in through the abbot's house and cut through to the inside? I assume people would be smart enough to block that. Shame. Shame. Pat Seuss? That like squiggly B thing is like an S kind of sound, right? Again, feel free to let me know whenever I butcher a pronunciation. Always happy to learn. Andreas? Good day, Master Muller. What are you up to today? Drawing? Anything interesting? No? Secrets? Oh, I see. I'll leave you up to it then. Good morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? I'm making good progress. I've started working on the history of the saints today. Good, good. Tashing is a pilgrimage town after all. I trust you'll take the council's opinions on the matter into account. I'll listen to you, but ultimately the decision on what to paint lies with me. Of course, you are the craftsman in this endeavor. Or craftswoman, as it were. All I ask is that you keep the Lord in mind. The mural is for Tashing, but we have others to appease as well. Sure. Thank you, Magdalene. Anyway, I'm glad that the mural is coming along well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. She says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Is the council working on something new? We're considering yearly maintenance checks on every house in Tashing. The idea has had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. Precisely, that's the issue we've run into. This would help protect those in Tashing who don't have the skill to fix things themselves. Widows like Agnes or Gret. But without instituting it for the whole town, we can't enforce the proposition. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I had better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. God bless you. Until later, Paul. Paul! Let's see. Elsa. Here we go. Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassing for hundreds of years. Oh, is this for the mural? I'm not sure I want to get mixed up in that. I wanted to pick your family specifically, if that helps. You're one of the few people who knows anything about the town after the Romans left. The Mullers have been a pillar of Tassing for generations, yes. Though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Lenhart didn't care to talk much about the past. I meant your family, the one you were born into. Your family name was Kafizel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. I'm not surprised your father remembers the Kafizels. He was sweet on my sister before we met your mother. Fair. I am the last of us left now. You say it's Kafizel, not Kafizelin? I've always been called Kafizel, as were my sister and mother, and her mother before her. My grandfather told me that the Kafizels have lived in this area for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time lost so long ago. Were they Romans? No, the Kafizels were part of the old people, the original Bavarian people. They helped to resettle Tassing after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. But that's just a story. How do you know any of it's true? I heard it from my family. Do you think they would lie? I didn't mean that. No, I think you did, but it's alright. Oh, sorry. Trying to dig into the truth here. However true it may be or may not be, doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe, that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of ancient Kafizels driven from their land only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think it's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Yes, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrich, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's alright. Just as I may not know exactly how the Kafizels resettled Tassing, what matters is that I feel close to her and them, even though they were so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. Thank you, Elsa. You've given me much to consider. God bless you, Magdalene, dear. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Anna. How are you? Oh, keeping busy. There's always plenty to do around the house. How's the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. Oh, how wonderful. I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrich by sometimes to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble. We had to throw out so many batches that it wouldn't rise. Your discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know, I was a real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count. But you're so hardworking, Anna. I can't imagine you making trouble. It's funny to consider, isn't it? I was a thief and a scoundrel. It started with cakes from our mother's table, still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found around the town. Ulrich's little hat once even belonged to Andreas Mahler, your father's friend. I stole it from his head. Yeah, and then I just leave her be, rather. Of course, stealing is against the Lord's commandments. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already and marched me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. What changed? I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the troubles started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. Not to mention, I saw what happened to Martin Bauer. I decided I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrich on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. I think everyone can learn from your example, Anna. Hopefully from my present one rather than my past. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of middle work to do. I'll see you later, Anna. God bless you, Magdalene. So it was my hat. Well, my as in Andreas. Magdalene! Hello, alright. Hello. What are you doing? Watching. Very well, keep up the good work. Work, just like Mom. I will work now. I like the way they draw children in this, it's adorable. Right, so I think we still want to try find a candidate to... What the fuck went on here? Hey Magdalene, come to admire a well-chiseled craftsman at his best. Oh, where? I can't see one. Ouch, I suppose I stepped into that one. Yes, you did. Have you come to see the repairs I've been doing then? To tell the truth, it's not going as well as I'd hoped. What seems to be the issue? I assumed I'd hit a snag either when it came to the stone or the tools, or my lack of artistic skills. But it's more than that. It's like, in my head, I can't see the right way. Besides, my dad wants me to help out on the farm more. I want to be there, but... Grandpa taught me everything about the craft. He really wanted me to succeed, and I do enjoy the work. It's as if I can talk to the stone, you know? Not literally, but I can see how the lines of tension flow through the rock. I understand how to form one thing from the other, how to make something that lasts. Grandma even offered to sponsor an apprenticeship under a master stonemason. Dad will support me either way, but I still feel like I'm pulled both directions at once, you know? If you can support your family and it makes you happy, it's the right choice. When you say it, it sounds the most reasonable way, doesn't it? But I still can't get away from the doubts. No one can fully escape their doubts. But don't let that stop you. God, I wish I had your confidence and fortitude. Did you learn all that from Klaus? Christ, this is hard. I don't know what to do. I think you should take the apprenticeship if you love it that much. It's better than staying in Tassing, right? I don't know, I like it here and I have enough experience from Grandpa to keep going. Besides, if I'm gone there will be no one to look after the town stone. The church's foundation is in serious condition, and who's to say there won't be another flood come spring? No, I think I should stay. I'll have to tell Grandma I've made up my mind soon. Well, thanks for listening to me, Magdalene. That's what friends are for, right? Well, work beckons. Father Thomas asked me to reinforce the walls of the church. To be honest, I'd like to reuse stones from the ruins of the abbey. But Father Thomas forbids it, says it's unseemly. It's just quality stone going to waste, I don't get it. A burnt ruin of an abbey is still a religious site. As is the church, so it'll only be like stones from one holy building to another. Alright, stay well. Until later, Magdalene. Until then, Kraft. I feel like we've been played, you know, I feel like if we'd suggested for him to stay and then we do that same persuasion check, we would fail it and then he'll decide, oh yeah, I'll be a master stonemason. I don't know. I feel like that's how that would play out, huh? I should have seen that coming. I wasn't big brain enough to see the persuasion check coming in. We could have gamed the system. Oh, so that's why Dr. Stoltz wasn't. Fuck it, hell. I can't make a snoring sound. How do you make a snoring sound? That I can do. Sorry. Sorry. I think I feel I committed too much there. Hey, wake up! Hey, you'll freeze if you stay out here. No, I can't do a snore. Sorry. I don't have the strength to carry him home. I have to tell someone. Maybe Baltas, but they're still on friendly terms. Nadziu can help. Yeah, the dude. Italian, I think. Or Big York. He's strong. He can do it. Ugh, what a mess. I think Baltas would be better. I think Big York would be rather more rough with him. And also, I'm on my way to see Baltas anyway, so you know, could be a good shout to ask while we're there. Hello, Baltas. Do you have a moment? Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? I came across a book about the history of Tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Oh no, not today. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. Not you. You know what? I don't know how to pronounce that. So, as usual, if you do, let me know. For now, not you, which sounds wrong. And I have our hands full preparing the crispest ale, you see. Of course. Sorry to bother you. Not at all. Apologies, I couldn't be of more help. How about you, Natsu? Ciao, Magdalene. Hello, Hello, ZZ. How are you? I am well. The winter is approaching quickly, no? What is it you say here? Bertha pinching at your nose? Ah, yes, that's the saying. Baltas has been explaining many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me. I must admit, they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? I should return to Genoa soon, but Baltas and I still have some business to conduct. It has taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. I may be forced to remain a few more weeks. Dio, who knows? It must be difficult. I pray that it must be difficult for you to be far from your home for so long. Baltas has made me most welcome, so I'm in no particular rush. I only wish to return to Genoa before any heavy snowfall, otherwise my journey will take twice as long. I'll let you get back to work then. Grazie, Magdalene. Until later. Bye-bye, ZZ. Okay, well, Big York it is. I think I've exhausted my choice of, my candidates of reading the Historia Tassiae. Big York, can you do me a favor? Hey, Magdalene, can I help you with something? I found Dr. Stoltz passed out drunk by the bakery, sleeping in a ditch. Again? For God's sake. For God's sake, it happening occasionally is fine, but the man can't hold his beer. To be blunt, even occasionally doesn't seem proper to me. Man just sometimes has to unwind, relieve the burden of responsibilities. In any case, I'll take him home. No need to worry, Magdalene. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but I, nodded right then. Okay, so we had the sister, Gertrude. We had Baltus, we had Stoltz. I don't remember who the last option was to read the Latin, the Historia. Maybe Wojslav can do it. Wojslav, whatever. Nope, he cannot. Matilda, maybe? God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Wojslav. How are you two? Oh, Father Thomas, I believe, was the last one. Very well. The Lord has blessed us more than we deserve. And how are you, Magdalene? I was worried with you keeping the house and the workshop all on your own. Let me bring you some soup for you and your father. You're very kind, Matilda, thank you. Not at all, Magdalene. This is how Wojslav and I serve Tassing. Our vocation may have changed, but our gratitude to God and the town has not. You've always been so dedicated to the town. Your neighbors took care of us in difficult times. Ha! Sometimes those days feels like another lifetime. A harder time, to be sure. I thought the abbey was better off than the town in those years. So we were told, but in private I believe Father Journeau struggled to provide for a scriptorium and a double monastery. However, seeing both the town and Kiersau struggle was only part of what made that time hard. A nun's life can be a challenging one, but I never had to deal with the difficulties you do now, Magdalene. What about your old life was difficult for you? I struggled... never mind. I struggled with my vows, my discipline. I couldn't live as my sisters did. I broke my vows, as did Wojslav. Ah, so you were, never mind, must not get there. You fell in love? Yeah, we did. You know, when I picked that, like, prickly personality thing, I was hoping more for, like, snappy comebacks and witty remarks, you know? I didn't think it would be, like, being an asshole. So I'm being a little bit more careful with the choices I take from that tree. Well, I seduced her. My god. Wojslav got game. You certainly did not. Are you telling young Magda here that you seduced me, then? Wojslav, please. So you left the abbey? Though no one learned of what we did, the matter ate at my heart. That and being falsely accused of murdering the old Baron terrified you, and rightly so. I didn't mention her! I was investigating! We all must account for our sins, Magdalene. I was afraid I would account for mine sooner than I thought. Those were the... Well, I guess, you know, I guess she figured that Andreas would mention something, now that he knows. Those were the hardest years of my life. I repented and prayed to God. Something. Sorry, my finger's a bit too quick today. But the Lord always provides, even in the darkest days. The Abbey's destruction gave us a second chance. It must be strange to leave that life after so long. Ha! Well, I will admit it's been strange not being able to enter the convent. I miss the sisters terribly some days, but truthfully it's been a relief not to be constrained by my vows. The Lord forgives more readily than man, Magdalene, exactly. Never, why is never in red, like just emphasis? Never think that you must remain in a place that causes you to sin, even if others think it's godly. I'm glad you two are finally able to live life together, you both deserve it. Only by the grace of God are we in this life together. May it be many more years before we part. God willing. Anyway, Magdalene, I'll send that soup over to you shortly. Thank you, Matilda. God bless you, Magda. God bless. Let's see what Endris gotta say. Nothing. Hello, Mistress Druckren. Magdalene, please. How is Klaus? Andres and I have been terribly worried. Fucking hell, I thought that bug was on my screen. That spirits are high, but he still gets headaches and spells of dizziness. If there is anything we can help you with, let us know. Andres is always ready to provide. I like how she offers help and then, you know, like just, oh yeah, he'll provide. He and Klaus have been best friends for a long time. If you don't mind, you weren't born in Tassing, am I right? No, I'm originally from Innsbruck. Oh yeah, that's the girl we convinced Andres to go back for, wasn't it? How did you arrive here? The twists of Providence are sudden and unpredictable. I was but a young girl selling all manner of wares on the market, pots and the like. One day, this man appears to the stall, all jitters and nerves, stammering over his words, but charming in a way. We spoke at length, I was intrigued, and soon enamored, as if a candle had been lit. Andres is a man of talent and means, after all, blessed with a kind soul. How did... Do you regret it? Huh? Do you wish you'd stayed? How did it feel to leave home for someone somewhere far away? Uprooting yourself from the life you had? Frightening, to be sure, leaving Innsbruck, my friends and family behind. But it was exciting as well, going off to find new opportunities and build a new life. There wasn't much I had to look forward to in Innsbruck, few prospects for a poor young girl. I couldn't see myself sitting at the market, continuing to sell odds and ends. Sometimes there are risks we just have to take. That's very inspiring, Resi. I'm glad you find some happiness here. We all struggle in this world, but the moments of joy outweigh the bad. It's how God has set this world, His benevolence guiding us through it all. I feel I've been blessed, and it's not been all bad for Andres either. Fuck me. I assist him with the bookkeeping side of the smithy and other things. Thank you for telling me about your past. It's nothing, Magdalene. I hope it has provided you with some encouragement. Don't forget you are important as well and deserve to live your life. Alright, I've still errands to run. The winter draws near. Be well, Magdalene. Until later, Therese. Oh, that's Resi is short for Therese? Or Therese, whatever. I think you might have figured out I'm bad with names at this point. I never know that, actually. I never knew that, you know, Resi was short for Therese. Hi, Magda. Need something? Maybe. I'm looking into the history of Tassing. I think some families are remembered more than others. Can you recall anything? I'm not sure. When I was younger, I wasn't sure if I should listen to any of these old stories. My father said it was a lot of pagan nonsense, that Father Thomas would be upset. I tried to push what I learned to the back of my mind because of it. So, you don't remember anything? Just fragments. Grandpa would tell me what to do if a hen stopped laying eggs. Or how you could tell if a witch was after you. Ottilia told me some old chants that she said came from our ancestors. I don't know what she meant and I don't remember what the words meant. I'm sorry. It's alright, thanks anyway. I'll see you later, Magda. Until then. Très bien. Très bien. Odds. Let's check the journal. I think Father Thomas was the last one we could ask for the Historia Tassiae translation. I think Father Thomas would be alright with it. He would probably object maybe to putting if the content's not aligned with the image he wants to portray. He'd probably say that, you know, please don't put this in, but I think he'll honestly translate it for us nonetheless. So didn't hurt to ask. Hello, Father Thomas. Can you spare a moment? Yes, of course, Magdalene. What is it? Well, I found this book, but I can't read the Latin very well. Could you help me translate it? The whole book? Oh, dear, I can't afford that much time away from my duties right now. The Christmas sermon is coming up, and I've already fallen behind on Advent preparations. Could the matter wait, perhaps? I'd be happy to look at it after the festivities. I suppose. Good, good. Well, that's GG then. We have nobody to translate it for us. I guess we could wait for tomorrow and ask, you know, Baltus or Stoltz again once he's just recovered. Speaking of Stoltz... I don't know why I say it like that. Do I Stoltz? Speaking of the doctor... Let's go see. I don't think in his hungover state he's gonna be too keen on translating a book, but doesn't hurt to ask. And also he has an appointment with my dad, so well, my dad has an appointment with him, and never mind, Big York hasn't moved him yet. So I guess the only thing we can do now is just go follow the go to the sister, right? And ask to go into the convent. The Golden Hand is a new addition, definitely, because it wasn't even around in chapter 1, so I did not mean to go down here. Is there a key? Well, it's not tab. Is there a keybind to like change which? Oh, hello. I think if you know the story already, you can kind of game it by picking the traits that helps, like this. Like you pick the Latin one, so you can translate it yourself, etc., etc. I think so far it's been really good with being open-ended, though. Of course, this is only our first playthrough, so I don't know how drastically different it might make, like picking the different choices, but so far, it's doing a good job of varying it up and making most traits feel useful, or at least interesting. I think the hedonism one is still the best, though, just for the sake of introducing yourself as Andreas Mahler, troublemaker. Still the best line in the... well, one of the best lines in the game, I think, so far. Can we sneak into the... No, we cannot sneak into the... Right. So this is gonna advance the time, but I feel like this is gonna be a long sort of tour with reading and whatnot, and yeah, before we continue, let's take a little bit of a break. I highly regret forgetting to grab a drink of water before all this. My throat is starting to kill, so yeah, short break, and then when we get back, we'll continue with the tour of the convent, I suppose, while observing whatever's inside the convent. So yeah, I'll see you in just a little bit. Hello everybody. Everybody good? Comfortable? Let's continue. And I have been smart this time. Well, smart might be a little bit generous, let's say less dumb. And I've prepared myself a glass of water. So hopefully my throat won't die again. Right, hello sister. God bless you, Magdalene. Would you like to go inside and meet with Mother Francisca now? Yes, let's go. I wonder if it's an ending where Magdalene just joins the sisters. I wonder how that would be. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckerin. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. I wonder that you've never come up to the Abbey before, Mr. Struckerin. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the poor Claris? I am worried that helping my father running the shop alone and finishing the murals are too much for me. Magdalene, you should not abdicate your worldly duties for fear of the unknown. However, I agree that working for a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman. Well, I beg to differ. Thank God you have turned to us for help. It is no wonder you have felt overburdened by all of this. Please come, I'm happy to tell you more of our order. Ooh, this place is nice. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kearsarge Double Monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Claris live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is ours to produce. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman, bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Rat House. That's awfully... well, I guess points for honesty. Well, I'm going to take a look around. Where are we going first? The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses the old chair anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Let's see... what's a loquarium? Let's find out what a loquarium is. Here's the loquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into the town sometimes, and even talk to men on occasions. The horror! I wonder why... I feel like whenever I say horror, it sounds like something else that I don't mean. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the poor Claris the summer I turned 17. And they took you in just like that? Nobody asked you what they wanted? Why should they? The poor Claris rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. Well, good news. In a lot of places anyway. Maybe, but we certainly won't ever live to see it. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margaret. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. If you could do anything else, what would it be? I would have liked to go to one of the big cities, at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. This is the chapel, where we all gather for mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, where it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. There. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried, a freestanding defensive tower not built for permanent habitation. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a monastery. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. The Holy Roman Empire, the largest and most powerful European state in this time. The Holy Roman Empire was made up of many peoples and suffered from much internal strife during the Reformation, despite Emperor Maximilian's firm hand over the land. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirits and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Our Lord Kirsau's castle was destroyed by fire. In the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II, only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first list, the abbey's founding date. Lady Kirsau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kirsau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, one male and one female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. Many things have been built and torn down in this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. The mural will be a great reference for the Rathaus. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. That's pretty cool, actually. Might do that. Also, the sister here, Suzanne. She reads Latin pretty well. Maybe we could convince her to translate the Tassier for us. The Historia, rather. It's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has been long covered in weeds. All I know about this place is the walls were added when the convent was built into the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you, Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? I'm considering joining the... Mother Francisca said I could look around. Oh well, don't let me get in your way then. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? God damn. Magdalene. Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Mary's ghost? I think it's Mauritius himself. Oh no. Who? Mauritius. Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about the Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of the Saint Moritz saving of Tassing. I think when we were Andreas, somebody also said a similar story, wasn't it? That it's a Roman general rather than Saint Moritz. Saint Moritz, however you say it correctly. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Mary said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well, I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I, well, accidentally let the fire poker on it. Well, unfortunate. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. That's alright. That book would probably have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the Rat House mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. Thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Ooh, the art studio. I'm down. The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for the pilgrims coming to see Hand of St. Moritz. It looks like something that I skipped a bit too quickly. We can't subsist on painting, and the poor Claras don't produce good for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find the beauty in life. Even Christ said that Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the poor Claras. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here unless to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots too. You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh lord, no. We all live too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad that the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Such valuable paint, left to dry and crack on the palettes. There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different than the others. It looks like a scrap from the manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margins. Sister? It says the Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood. Mithraeum. That's the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. Wait, this might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. I don't know, it's not a word I've ever heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, the note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now. These old badges are beautiful. I hope the pilgrims who bought them love them too. I assume that goes out, so... Oh, it's just an interaction. Okay, I thought you have to walk up the path. Sister Margaret! I thought we were gonna talk. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Sister Mary and Sister Isabel takes care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Let's keep up. Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Francisca graciously allowed me to visit with you. Glory and praise be to God. You've brought such joy to me this day, child. I haven't actually joined yet, sister. Do you have a strong stomach? Perhaps you can help Sister Isabel and me in the kitchens. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabel was graciously taken on this task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. That's, that's just a minor detail, just the occasional apparition. Sister Mary, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Oh, please, by all means to Magdalene. A trick of the light. Moonlight must have gotten caught in smoke from the fire and you thought you saw an apparition. Upon my vows, I swear I saw a figure rise through the ground at vigils. I was so frightened. I fell prostrate and prayed to the Lord, save me. Dawn and dusk, and the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are the weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but the convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Kiersau? Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think the spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Mary too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Well, you've seen... No, I want to talk to Isabel! Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much more here. What do you think? I can see why people choose the holy life, but it's not for me. Not without art. I understand. You've dedicated your whole life to your work. You'd struggle to give that up now. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. Should I stay or should I go now? Sorry. I think honestly, I know it's gonna be difficult and all that, but I think, and you know what? I think the Magdalene we've been playing will also advise her to. I think you should go. Your family just left you here. You don't. Oh, did I need to like big brain this again? Pick the opposite of what I want. Because I don't know what else I could have done to convince Suzanne. Your family just left you here. You don't. I do though. The sisters have taken care of me. They love me and I love them. Even if this life wasn't my choice, they accepted me. Who knows? Maybe it'll get better in time. Maybe I'll try to help any way I can, even if it's just sneaking around the convent wall to say hello. Really? That will be wonderful, so long as no one finds out. Yeah, let's just talk about it in front of these two sisters here, huh? Arrange a time and date, perhaps. Anyway, we should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. I learned a lot today. Thank you for showing me around the convent. No. Thank you, Magdalene. Today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear about what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the poor Clarice? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? Should we be blunt? Yeah, I think I prefer my books and printings, and in any case, I need to finish the mural. Then I might take over from my father. I see. Be careful that this mural does not become an idol for you, Magdalene. Just as Eve had a weaker will than Adam, you are liable to stumble on the fruit of temptation as well. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Thank you for allowing me inside. You are most welcome. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. That's the trouble with reading ahead sometimes. Ah, Magdalene, how did your little expedition go? Well, I learned about the Purclaris, but not as much about the history of the Abbey as I wanted. But sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing after that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tassing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Curacao was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in that rubble. I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside other than charred wood and parchments. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene, I really do. Thank you for your help, Sister Gertrude. You're most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Now what? Well, that was... I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of Curacao. And that illustration from the manuscript, the Mithrium, it was like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey of Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. If only the library hadn't burnt down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. Indeed, the ruins are right there. Magdalene just dies, like rubble fell on her and GG. My god, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. This is gonna be quick time events, isn't it? I wonder if it was actually possible to convince Suzanne to leave the Abbey. I didn't see any other, like, oh, she will remember this. Oh, shit! Maybe if you pick a certain, like, personality trait or background. It'll, like, help convince her. Ow. Oh no, I can't back up there. If I climb it, it might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. This doesn't seem like a sound idea going up to the tower. There's nothing left of the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These spines go all the way to the top though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. We're going on an adventure now. Okay, I thought Magdalene was just gonna go thwack into the the courtyard. Sorry. Right, what are our options? Nothing. Oh god, I remember when the library burnt down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. It doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? The abbot's house probably is gonna be the safest route, but I wanna have a look around. Those roses seems to have made the abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. But yeah, I think the abbot's house is gonna be the best way. These roses seems to have made the abbey their home. I'm glad something beautiful is still growing here. This place is a mess. How sad. Chapter house, and I think this just goes out to the front. The door's stuck. I can't get through this way. Okay, so this is a bit of more of a linear section. Ooh, that's been vandalized to shit. Oh, an old mural. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death. What? These figures looks new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death, and why? These looks like people from the town, from here, people who died. That must be the Baron, and Otto. And that's Otto. Okay, so leftmost, I can't tell. Second leftmost, I can't tell either. Rightmost is probably meant to be Andreas. That looks like Casper with the yellow hat, but I made Casper go away, didn't I? You should be safe. Anyway, wait, is that? Someone's here. Hello? Who are you? He just skedaddled. I'm dead, aren't I? Okay, so I don't know who that is. This is the Baron. This is Otto, probably. Don't know who this is. And then I think that's Andreas. And Casper. Or is that meant to be a... No, that's not Journo. Journo is blonde. Maybe that's supposed to be Ferenc. No idea. The door! Whoever was watching must have opened it. I don't like this. Okay, so the paint's missing, so whoever stole the paint... I think I've seen everything left of the Abbey. I want to get out of here. I don't know if this is the sort of game that's gonna do this sort of thing, but I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the other parts one more time, just in case there is like anything new that we can see. That's gonna be a no, so let's get out of here. I wonder if there is gonna be a reveal of like, oh, it's this person who has been orchestrating all this. Still wonder who that first one is. Maybe that is like the first one's the Baron, maybe. Guess, you know, the stab through the heart thing. Although he died by head wound, but let's never mind that. And then this one's Ferenc because he got executed for it. Oh yeah, I think that's it. I think this one's I think the art maybe changes depending on who you choose to sacrifice. Which one you choose to accuse and who got executed. I would like to see the variations of this actually. Maybe someday. So somebody would catalog it, like all the various possible choices, because I think this is the Baron. Stabbed through the heart, and then I think below him is like, oh, he's taken many victims from his actions. Or something along those lines. And then this is Ferenc. Because, you know, he's doing the pagan shit. And the bad rituals, you know, with the goat symbolism and whatnot. And then you have Otto. Not sure what the orange is supposed to be a symbol of. But yeah, with the saw and everything, he's the carpenter. So yeah, that's Otto. And then this one's Hannah. And then this one's me. Well, was me, Andreas. I still wonder why Casper's here though, because I know my memory is not the best, but I'm pretty sure we sent Casper away before we went to confront the mob and whatever. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I would like to see the different variations of that. Preferably without having to replay the game, because, like I said, I don't tend to replay long games like this very quickly. Like, not very quickly, how do I put this? Like, very soon after beating it the first time, I tend to give it a rest because I get tired of just, you know, playing the same story. I'll be, you know, seeing different outcomes of it. And seeing as we're like 12 hours in, even more now, and we're not even, I don't think we're even close to the end. You know, it's a time commitment to go through this game. Snowing already? The almanac said it shouldn't start for another week at least. I think we're in for a hard winter. I should get back to the rat house and get to work. Oh, hello, Carl. Oh, you're gonna do this to me? You're gonna make it like you're gonna make it be a reveal? God. Magdalene. Dr. Stoltz. So you're doing quick work with the mural, eh? I hope it doesn't make you sloppy. Well, I've rigged the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Ah, yes, how very clever of you. In any case, the council wants to hear what you're doing. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left it. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And... I like this one, honestly. I want to show the history, how it happened. How Paint Lady Kirsau founding the abbey from the old Burgfried. That might rub some people in town the wrong way. The saints are a core part of Tassing history, after all. People want to cling to all manners of stories in order to give their lives some meaning. Remember, the mural isn't for your benefit, but to make Tassing look good. I remember. I remember. Very well. After this section, there is still so much work to do. I haven't figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. It's a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Ah, oh, Dr. Stoltz. Yes. Have you ever seen someone looking around in the Abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the Abbey in years, and no, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me a few times. No, I don't know anything about it. Now, if there's nothing else... No, good night, Dr. Stolz. Yeah, no reason to antagonize him to his face. We'll just talk about him behind his back like good people. Good night, Dr. Stolz. Good night, Magdalene. Now I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Essler. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther. I'll write them tonight before bed. No, I just saw the note there. I think it's gonna be like, stop. I'll write the Archdeacon, Jacob Essler, and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll write the letter to Esther too. I hope the courier can make it through the passes before winter. No, that paper on my bed. Jacob Essler, formerly Archdeacon of Freising. My name is Magdalene Ruckren. Excuse me. I am an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kirsau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? In particular, do you remember anything about someone writing notes to provoke the killer? More have appeared in Tassing in subsequent years, it's seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Ruckren. What about asking about the revolt? Anyway, dearest Esther, hope you are well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Sigmund. And Alicia too, of course, and your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have enfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so that the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in the winter. Dad's condition is so much worse than he's in so much pain. Dr. Stoltz has been, well, he's a useless asshole. Only God knows why he's such a bitter old man, but he's neglected Dad almost entirely. Some days he doesn't show up, and even if he does, he just snaps instructions at me and rushes off. I just wish I understood why. I worry about that. I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much we can do alone. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explored the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey's ruins. No one else in Tassing has seen anything, but some of the nuns say they've seen ghosts. It's the strangest thing. Given me a fright a few times already. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share at the moment is that the mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas or soon after. Before the new year, at least. Then perhaps, at long last, I shall be able to visit you and meet this Simond, not Sigmund. Simond? Whatever. Anyway, I fear this will be my last letter of the year. The Reich post has already been late and reported worsening snow through the passes. We seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm and give my regards to your family and Simon. Yours always, Magda. No! The paper! Okay, it's still there, never mind. I thought it was just gonna skip. How did this get here? Stop. This is just like the note Dad found. Are they trying to scare me? And if I don't stop, are they going to try to kill me next? I need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a coincidence. But he's been so weak. I don't want to upset him. I just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. Honestly, if this ends with me getting killed, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be so pissed. Okay, let's have a little gander around town, shall we? Can I revisit the... Well, I was gonna say, can I revisit the Abbey, but let's just pop in here and check. So it can't be this guy, because the note's been being passed around since before he was around. Hello, Magdalenes. What brings you to my humble inn? I'm on my way back from the Abbey. I thought exploring the ruins would be helpful for the murals. Good to see you in one piece. I'm surprised that old tomb isn't collapsed by now. Did you find what you were searching for? Yes, I think so. Good. I'm glad that this was worth the effort. Is the mural progressing well? The more I learn, the better it gets. Good, good. Can't say I understand much about art. But we all appreciate the work you're doing. But with your dad's... Well, I won't keep you from your adventure then. Besides, I've the inn to clean. Do you have someone to help you? Oh, I don't want to take up your time. Killian will lend a hand. Johanna was good at keeping me straight. She kept this place spotless. If you don't mind me asking, how did you two meet? Oh, memories. You were so young. In Passau is to the east. I first saw Hannah doing laundry beside the river, just south of the Niedernberg Abbey. The way the sun hit her face off the water, she sparkled. Maybe she's a vampire. Couldn't get her... One interpretation of a vampire anyway. Couldn't get her out of my mind. She was a wit in conversation too, with a bold temperament that shone through every so often. We courted. I spoke to her father. A happy day. You miss it a lot? I do. We didn't have a plan when we married. That we settled in Tassing was happenstance. When Killian was old enough to travel, we happened to pass through on our way to Zurich. Why not stay in Passau? The salt trade was struggling, and there was trouble brewing to the east and south. The Lithuanians had started warring with the Muscovites. There were rumors of peasant uprising. Funny that... So you decided to leave? Not initially. We were going to Zurich for trade. As there was time to spare, we visited Kiersau and of course the Shrine of the Hand of St. Moritz. Her eyes lit up. She said God had blessed us with an opportunity. The town had no inn then. We proposed the land house to the abbot and he gladly accepted. So the inn was Hannah's idea. No, did I say that? It was a shared dream. Hannah and I were happy. So happy. And then she ruined it. Happiness never lasts, Magdalene. And then Hannah leaped into the arms of that fucking miller. I didn't know what to do. We had Killian to look after and the land house. I loved her, so I let it happen. Anyway, then Otto was killed and Andreas fucking Mahler couldn't help but get himself involved. Hi, that's me. Hi. Hey. I'm glad my involvement was well received. And so the love of my life died for nothing. She wasn't to blame. She didn't kill Otto. I know it. Well, it looked bad. Then who did? I don't know, but it wasn't her. Mahler made a mistake. He didn't know her like I knew her. Well, in the end, Johanna and I, we were both bad people. Bad for each other, liars and cheats. But that didn't make her a murderer any more than it made me one. Me, I think the miller did it. He hated Otto and he was sure we all knew. Well, they both died, so... Paul's dad being a seducer and a cheat also doesn't make him capable of killing someone either. Damn it, Magdalene, you're not wrong. Only God knows who killed Otto. But I've kept you too long with my talking. You have your father to care for after all. It was good talking, Nico. Thank you for sharing Joanna's story with me. You did me the favor, Magdalene. I won't forget it. Until later. Until then. I was thinking maybe we could ask for a room or something, you know, since somebody's intent on killing us. Or at least threatened. Let's see if we can visit the Abbey at night and, you know, if anything has changed. I'm gonna guess no, but, you know, doesn't hurt to check. Okay, then let's just go to sleep. So we didn't find anybody who could translate the Historia. Not yet, anyway. Hello, Odds. Also, I ran past my own house. Let's back it up a little bit. Yes, go to sleep, please. Excuse me. I guess the time skip is to imply like actually doing work on the mural, you know. It just occurred to me. Mr. Struckrin, only one letter for you today. Shit, I hope it's Jacob. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. Same to you. Ah, reply from Jacob Essler. Thank God. Let's hope it's good. Mistress Druckrin. I do recall the Rothvogel case, though it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. I do not mind at all, just tell me what I need to know. Also, his necklace looks like zzz. The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kirsa was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. Hey, hello, that was me. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now after so many years must mean that their author is still active. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed with the heavy snow. Postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I better get back to the Rathaus then. Still more work to be done. Oh, is this gonna time skip again? It is gonna time skip again. God damn, we're leaving it kinda close, aren't we? Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up on the mural and now I can start the final part today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said that you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Berchtenlauf, a Germanic folk ritual celebrated around Christmas time, in which townsfolk dress as Berchten and drive evil spirits from the town to protect it in the coming new year. Well, the last time people dressed up, somebody got killed, so looking forward to this one. And there's always next year. Ah, there's always next year. I'm sorry. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. Fine, fine. I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, Magdalene. If you want to work, you should work. It's alright. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene and I. Oh god, that must be Otz. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. Oh no, if you know something I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad. I'll tell you, I promise. Alright. Except this is a story. A morbid story. So far, with a lot of death, so there probably won't be a later. Good. Take care of yourself out there. The Revolt of 1525. Hello, Ots. Morning, Magdalene. Morning. I told you the almanac was right, didn't I? The moon forecasted a cold winter this year. Ugh, fine, you were right. It's a good thing you paid attention to it, too. Saved me a lot of trouble finishing work early. Anyway, here. I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Utz. You're welcome. So, how's your dad? You think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural, though. I'm working on the final section. About the Peasants' Revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassing so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened, since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but I don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone is preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mom, too. You might be able to ask them. Wojslav and Matilda are the only two Benedictines left living in Tassing. Maybe they'll talk to me. Huh, I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassing, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Agnes is... oh yeah, the midwife. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'd talk about it. It's your project, Magdalene. Might be worth a try. I wrote to the old Archdeacon about it too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? The man who came to Tassing for the Baron Rothvogel's murder. What about him? He was the judge for the Baron's murder. What if all the deaths in Tassing are connected? I don't see how that old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling alright? I think you're looking for connections that aren't there. Maybe this mural project is getting to you. I need to get to the bottom of this, Odds. There is something more to all this, I know it. If you're sure. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. Hehehe. Sorry. See you later, Max. Ugh. Odds is right. I should start talking to people around town. I'd better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the Burstenlauf. Well, off we pop. Magdalene Druckrin, I didn't expect to see you today. How's your father? He's not well, honestly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. He'll be in our prayers tonight. Ours as well. Now then, is there something we can help you with, dear? I have a small favor to ask. Oh, go on then, spit it out. If it isn't too much trouble, I'd like you all to recount what you remember of the revolt. I'm nearly done with my mural, but I need more details. I was so young. I don't remember much of that night. Oh, for that project of yours in the rat house. I'm afraid I won't have much good to say about the matter, but alright. Come sit down, Magdalene. Don't worry about helping with the wreaths. It took me years to get the technique up to Mom's expectations, so you're better off not help. Oh, fuck me, Brigitte. Ha! You always did fine, Brigitte. So, Magdalene, what do you need to know to finish the mural? I was hoping to ask you more about the revolt. It seems so important, but no one ever talks about it. All I can remember was the flames when the abbey burned because I was so young. What part of the revolt? The abbot starving us out of the house and home? Otto's murder? I doubt that would be a good painting. I thought there was an attempt to talk to the abbot. There was, until Otto was killed. After that, the monks shut themselves up in the abbey library. Meanwhile, that bastard Abbott only ever cared for how many pfennigs he could get from us. Bridget, don't forget to twist the ends in. He can't have it looking like a Christmas hedgehog. I'm getting there, Mom. I've looked after Martin and Kraft well enough, haven't I? I can manage this. Yes, well, after your father died, I've got no one left to nag besides you and that husband of yours. Thank God I have the both of you. As a matter of fact, let an old woman have her vices. The Gardner house was a bit sad. York always gets quiet this time of year. Whatever for? I reckon because that family's been hard-pressed since Peter died. Tassing's lost a good number of folk over the years, and feast days and celebrations make it harder to bear. You mean the revolt, right? The revolt, the murders, that fool Andreas had to meddle in everything. Didn't do too much good if you ask me. Hi, hey. I'm glad I'm remembered well. You mean Master Mahler that said none of this was his fault? No, the revolt wasn't his fault alone, and I think for the most part he tried to stop it, but he'd already meddled enough in Tassing after the Baron's murder that he held more sway than he knew. I could understand it the first time. He wanted to save that old monk. I dare say he saw him as a father. And it was proven the prior was a witch, so I suppose he did some good for Tassing then. I think Wojslav might be the only person left in Tassing who even remembers the old prior. That's when the trouble started, I say. The townsfolk saw a monk killed and the abbot was incensed. Then came to the revolt and Andreas Mahler happened to show up nearly the day of Otto's murder. Hey, hello. Did the revolt accomplish anything? Well, the entire matter was a horrible, bloody mess, but it did restore peace in Tassing. By force. A shame it had to happen at all. I think I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the start, yeah, no shit. Old Wojslav would be the only one to know what happened inside the old church now, before the fire. Some like to say things were always this bad, that violence was the only way, but it wasn't. Life got worse over the years. It wasn't like this when I was a child, not in my grandparents' time either. Sure, the abbot was pinching the townsfolk and the peasants were suffering, but to go against the church... But like you said, things weren't always so bad. We fought to make things right. A foolish fight. And to think I delivered a baby, your friend Esther in fact, during the whole event. That's right, the Sommerfelds were in town because of all the revolts around them. Around then. Her parents couldn't get home. Praise God she made it home. A babe on the road in those days? A miracle, I say. But things got better in the end, right? Even if so many people died? What kind of good comes from violence? I've never seen Peter so angry. Well, Peter, I think Peter was the one... Like, I don't want to go around assigning blame here, but I think Peter was a little bit too hot-headed about things. Well, what can one do against a mob holding torches? Like, I don't know. That soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. Yeah, I don't know, man. Peter... Like, things were... We were de-escalating the situation. Like, we were... Like, the monks were safe. The peasants were there. Like, they could just talk it out, hopefully, and the soldiers wouldn't have to be involved. But Peter just had to set fire to the library. For some reason. Anyway, sorry. That soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. So, nothing got better, at all. No, not as I see it. The Lord is just as severe as the abbot was, and threatens force at us at every turn. That's life. You can struggle and die to accomplish something and nothing changes. Fighting or working, it never matters. We starve and die in the end. Happy holidays, everyone! Nothing matters and you can't change anything. Fucking hell. The dead are luckier. They died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. This is all you've known, Magdalene. You've grown used to it. We all have. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It's important to share our suffering with the younger generations. Maybe they can change something. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. I thought she was gonna say good luck with that. Good luck, Magdalene. Oh, that advances time? I was hoping, like, I wanted to... If that actually, like, advances time, I would rather talk to Wojlev. He wouldn't know anything about the town, but at least, like, it'll be something that I didn't know previously. Let's see. Rat house, Stolz house. Is the doctor home? Doesn't seem to be. Balthasar's workshop. I wonder if I can get... Okay, that's just the same interaction. Hello, Balthasar. Ah, if it isn't Mistress Magdalene. Hello, Balthas. Hello, Natsu. How are your inventions coming, Balthas? Oh, very well, thank you. I was just showing Zizi how that house clock works on one of my smaller prototypes. It is a fascinating process, truly. I had never considered that one man could make something so complex by himself. I'd love to create something so intricate one day, maybe a new kind of printing press. And what kind of printing press would that be, pray tell? Maybe something with automatically sorted type that would make the process faster. Ah, you may be onto something there, Magda. Can you imagine? Automatic type. Truly an ingenious idea, if one could ever make it happen. Well. Stranger things have been attempted. True, true. Like those crazy flying machines. Can you imagine? A man flying like a bird. Ah, preposterous. But all in time, they say. Maybe we'll be proof fools instead of them. In the meantime, shall we get back to work, Balthus? Oh yes, of course. Please excuse us, Magdalene. We're rather busy at the moment. Until later, then. Good luck with your ale. Right, where would Wojlev be? I guess we could also talk to Big York. Who's the Kreutzer? Eva, Blacktail, Christina. Eva was around in that time, right? Yeah, let's try Big York. He seems to be... I feel like he'd be straightforward about it, and he was there with the peasants, so... Never mind. Old Peter, ill Peter rather, might be a little bit too emotionally charged with his story. I wanna ask Wishlev, but I don't know where his house is. This is Ottilius. Martin Bauer house. This leads to nowhere. Yeah, where's Wishlev, I wonder? Church Druckers. Maybe the church? No? I'll take that as a no. Yeah, that's definitely a no. Muller household. Shouldn't be in there, right? Nope. What's this? Oh, forest. I didn't know you could go to the forest in the winter. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Does it show on the map? I could go to the Golden Hand, which I suppose is gonna be where Wojslav is. Let's try that. Let's try the Golden Hand. Oh, hello, gentlemen. We just stare. Hello, Magdalene. Oh, he can't speak? You're Kazimierz, right? You're with Alexander? You're with, oh, no, you're with Alexander. Musicians? It's okay, take your time. Yes, I play Sean and lute, he sings. Oh, Sham, not Sean, okay. Do you mind if I ask what happened to your voice? Rather not. What are you two doing in Tassing? We just keep bothering him. Ask Alexander, sorry. Alright, I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks, God bless you. Well, if it isn't Magdalene, that's me. Ah, good, I've seen you around and heard your name mentioned. I apologize for not introducing myself sooner. I am Alexander, this is my partner Kazimierz. We are musicians by trade, travelers by necessity. The weather trapped us on our way back to Würzburg for a Christmas celebration. I'd hoped to win the Meistersinger competition there, but alas, we are trapped here until the pass is clear. How are you finding Tassing? Everyone has been quite kind, and no one has thrown anything at me for my music. Considering the circumstances, I'm counting that as a success. I have to admit, I was quite upset that I had missed my opportunity to sing at the Meistersinger competition. He practiced so much for it. Yes, it's hard not to feel the last year as a waste. You can try again next Christmas, can't you? Of course. Though the older I get, the less comfort I take in the possibilities of the future. Missed opportunities sting more with each passing year. Well, you have an audience here, the people of Tassing. And perform for them I will. I love performing for people wherever I go. When I sing for people, I want to move them. I want to see it on their faces. It's only in that moment that I can connect with them. That's the only truth I know. Meistersinger judges will rate me as they will, but that's not why I want to perform for them. I want to move the masters the way they moved me. Does that make sense? I think so. My dad is my teacher and his approval means a lot to me. I think we all want the approval of those who came before us. And someday someone will look to me for approval. Hard to imagine. I'm sorry. Just feeling a bit of melancholy, I suppose. It's the long nights. I suppose you're right. All that darkness. Perhaps the Christmas feast will lift my spirits. Will I see you there? Absolutely. Almost everyone in town should be there. And I look forward to it. Until then. Here we go. Wojslav. Shit. Ah, hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. How's the weather? We've been prepping for the feast in here all day. Fresh and brisk. Perfect for a walk. Ugh, better you than me. I'll stay in here where I can keep my fingers warm. You'd better keep your fingers out of my dough, Master Bauer. I didn't do anything. You've snuck your little fingers into my cookie dough at least 3 times today. Do it again and I'll wrap your knuckles with the back of my spoon. Don't anger Mistress Matilda, Simon. Yes, sir. Sorry, Mistress Matilda. We need enough dough to make cookies for the entire town. You can't be eating it all. Anyway, what did you come in for, Magdalene? I was hoping you could tell me what you remembered of the revolt. I was too young to remember much of it. No one ever seems to talk about it, and Mistress Matilda and Master Wojslav, you two are the only ones left who used to live in the abbey. The only ones who stayed, anyway, Matilda. Matilda and I had been friendly enough with the people in town. We put it behind us in time. You can imagine the other brothers had little reason to remain. Poor old Adok's heart gave out that night. It was all too much for him, God rest his soul. I'm not sure what happened to the others. All gone in any case. But the whole thing is a sensitive subject, Magdalene. Why are you asking? I want to portray the event truthfully in the mural, so I'm trying to hear everyone's account of the events. For the sake of seeing it portrayed right, I'll tell you what I remember. Wait, Magdalene, here. Come cut out cookies with me first. That way we don't fall behind while we chat. We'd be grateful for your help. Yes, of course. Alright, Magdalene, cut out cookies from the dough and let them aside so Simon can put them in a tray. We'll need a good number in a variety of shapes, so don't hesitate to change which cutters you use. We have to have enough for the whole town, after all. So... I don't know how to do this. Nope, that's not gonna work. Trying to like fit this just right. Am I not supposed to be this min-maxi? I guess I'm not supposed to be that min-maxi. And then we could use this one like this. Actually, I think we can use this one like this. That kind of leaves the top one out of space though. Maybe we could do it like this instead. And then this top part we could use for a... nah, it's too big. We can do it like this. And then we could... No! Not at that... Not at that spot. Shit. That's... Okay, I didn't mean for it to be at that exact spot. That's gonna take away too much. Yeah, I don't think there is some saving this particular part. I've just used too much, I guess. Nope. Nope. Well, we don't have any circles yet, so let's make some circles, I guess. How about this then? Does this work? How about this? Come on, what part of that doesn't work? That's well in. There we go. Could do that. Then we could do that. I feel like I'm taking this a little bit too seriously. Could do that. And then we could probably slip a bird right here. Very good. Yeah, I think I'm taking this a little bit too seriously. I could just finish this row out with circles. That should be enough, right? Like we could just keep doing this sort of pattern of... Oh god. Boy, that was a sneeze. I hope I got to the mute in time. If not, well, apologies. Man. Let's see. This should be able to fit like this. And then we can fit the bird like this. Maybe like this. Let's see. Can we fit one right here? Very good. And then yeah, just more circle. The spacing is a bit off with that. There we go. One. Put another one here. I guess it's gonna have to be like this then. Come on, that's so in. Fine. There. Happy? Put there. Another heart here. And I don't think we can have another heart here. Yep. But I do think we can fit either a diamond or a... You know what, maybe we can fit another circle here. There we go. And we should be able to fit another burb over here. And then what are we lacking? I think the heart is the one we have the least of, so let's put some... Well, let's put one. That's all the space I have. Come on, that fits, come on. Give me this one, game. Fine. There. Happy? Are you done? These look wonderful, thank you. You can make more if you want, but it looks like we have enough. I think that's good, man. We've been here like, what, 15 minutes just working on cookies? Thanks for helping, Magdalene. We'd better keep going if we're going to have everything ready by the procession tonight. So, what can we tell you, Max? I heard the Landsknechts came into town before the revolt and warned everyone to leave the abbey alone. Could things have really been talked out, or was it too late by then? There were some people who wanted to talk. Master Mahler worked hard to keep the peace, but after Otto was killed... Oh, Andreas. A shame how he died. We at the monastery were fond of him. Dad said he was instrumental in keeping the revolt from getting out of hand. He regrets not standing by him. Yes, he was. He had a personal dinner with the abbot to try and discuss things, I believe. A pity they couldn't come to an agreement. Yes, Andreas did a lot of good for Tassing and Kirsau too. Even if the old abbot failed to admit that. He even revealed corruption in our own midst. The old prior Ferenc had been doing witchcraft in the church. I still grieve that he died in the abbey fire. I know your father does too, Magdalene. But wasn't the revolt in general justified? Yes, I think so. Well, we couldn't even collect in the forest without a fee. Dad kept saying we couldn't live with higher and higher taxes. The night Otto died, the abbot was trying to excommunicate everyone for celebrating St. John's Eve. A lot of people thought the abbot killed him in revenge. Turns out it was Hannah, the innkeeper's wife. I still say she was pressured into it by the miller. Still, after Otto and Ulrich that was too much. We burned the mill with both bastards inside. My father said that would be the end of things. Dad said he could pay the abbey with crops, but the abbey forbid it, and we had to pay the miller's fee. And Hart kept asking for more too, so he could use the stupid windmill. Why not just pay with grain? The abbot promised to help if Andreas found the person who killed Otto. All we wanted was to talk. But didn't you say that you just burnt down the mill? Yes, but only to protect ourselves. Lenhart and Hannah were both murderers. It was too much for Peter. Lenhart was one thing. He just killed Ulrich, but to burn the abbey. But when the Landsknechts saw the fire, they thought they had another revolt on their hands, like so many others in the area. Even we in the abbey couldn't stop them. We all fled. Brother Florian saved as many as he could, but... Peter was wrong to burn the abbey, but what the soldiers did, that was awful. Dad died protecting me, stabbed in the chest. I don't even remember what he was wearing, but I remember how dark the blood was when we found him. Almost black and sticky, like... Treacle? Dad socked one of the soldiers in the face, but another was right there, and... Magdalene, can we stop talking about this? Of course, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset anyone. Thanks, Magdalene. It's hard to discuss sometimes, you know. Good luck, we'll see you at the procession later. Until then. I think the last one is just the Gürtner farm. Who's that upstairs? Is that... Oh, Killian. Hi, Max. Sorry I can't talk for long now. Magdalene. Oh, of course, Magdalene. I didn't mean to be impolite. Oh, it's alright. What's keeping you so busy? You know, setting up for the Christmas feast. It's always a lot of work. And Dad can't do it all alone. He pretends to be strong, but I think some of it's an act. He's growing older and sadder. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't really know how to help him. He doesn't talk about her much anymore. I think he's ashamed. I'm not, though. She was still my mom. People say she did many bad things. Everyone does bad things sometimes, you know? When the monks were around, they told us all about God's forgiveness. Wojslav talks about it a lot, too. So that's what I try to do. Forgive. You've got a kind heart, Killian. Maybe. I just do what I think is right. How's your mural coming along, anyway? Well enough. I'm trying to learn more about the days of the revolt. I suspect many don't want to talk about that time. Painful memories. I think you're right. I don't blame them. Dad hasn't spoken about it in years. Oh, I'm sorry, Magdalene. I really have to get back to work. Be well. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Right, let's go see the Gertners, and then I think that's gonna be that for today. Oh wait, this is the wrong farm. Hello, Magdalene. I would have thought you'd be working on the mural today. What brings you here? I'm working on the final section of the mural now about the revolt. It's going well, but I need more details. I was only a baby at the time, but you all lived through the event. I want to portray it in the best way possible. I would like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion, if that's alright. That was a sad time. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes, I'll answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalene. Of course, Magdalene. We'll tell you all you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months. Come now, sit with us. Now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. I suppose that's when things started going poorly, thanks! Yes, after Prior Ferenc was discovered as a witch, people weren't as willing to trust the Abbey anymore. Then the Abbot became more severe. He didn't like that the Prior's death rattled his control of Tassing. I still think that the old Prior cursed the town. That's when crops started failing. I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude towards us became harsher after that. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. Agnes blamed Andreas for starting the revolt. Is that? I don't. I'm keeping myself out of this. I know things were bad, but was it worth all the loss? You wouldn't remember it, Magdalene, but the abbot forced us into starvation. He would have died either way. With so many men killed, we struggled with the crops even more, and the famine lasted into the next year. We did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. Excuse me. All we wanted was fair access to common land and taxes that left us with enough to live on, but the abbot tore even that away. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like that. All was fine until Hannah, Nico's wife, killed Otto because she feared that what would happen if the abbey shut down. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. When that soldier arrived and threatened us all, all the townsfolk pulled away, except for you and Ulrich, Gret. No, Clara, I'm afraid even I was intimidated, and begged Ulrich to leave the matter be. My husband alone stood with the peasants. Dad always talks about how he regrets that choice. That's why he wanted to paint the mural. Your father is unique in that regard. Most of the other townsfolk see the revolt's failure as proof that it was doomed from the start. Truly, if the entire town banded together, we likely could have succeeded without violence at all. By then, we were so starved and wanted justice so much, Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. Then that fucking Miller protected that bitch. He always hated us, though he thought he was better than us. Ursula. Language. What, Mom? It's true. Lenhard even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. It was unprovoked. Yes, Lenhard always did hate the rest of the townsfolk, and he would take advantage of anyone he could. My husband sought peace to the last. He was martyr to us. I think the Miller shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. We'd lost too much. The burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died in that fight. But we got rid of the abbot and all the monks at least. Yes, and that is some comfort, if only a little. Are there any heroes of Tassing I should memorialize? Dad, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey. I hope we can portray him in his best light, Magdalene. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we've provided enough for your work. You did, thank you. I'll let you get back to work. No way in hell I'm painting Peter, by the way, fuck him. Thank you, Magdalene. Sorry, that might have been a little bit harsh, but right. I think that's gonna be that for today, but tomorrow we celebrate. But yeah, that really is gonna be it for now, I think. But yeah, about Peter, I don't think, like, no way I'm depicting him in the mural. I think what he did was, well, it's not smart. It wasn't smart. And unlikely to have worked. I don't know, I think it was just a bit of a... It's such a stupid, hothead move to still burn down the abbey. But that's just my opinion. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll uncover more the next time we play this. But until then, I hope everybody has, you know, a great day. And depending on when next time is, maybe a great week as well, because I'm not sure when next time's gonna be. But yeah, hopefully soon, hopefully as scheduled. And hopefully I'll see you then. Goodbye.